Okay, here we are. Quarterly candle close, monthly candle close. A lot of closes today. How's the dog doing? Nice, another one. My short from last Thursday is finally in a profit area. Yes, nice. I'm very proud that you didn't close it. You should be very proud, Flo, that you did not pencil neck. Even though you did not have that great of an entry. But very nice, very nice. Thanks for your helpful advices. Yeah, sure. No worries. But that's that's one key aspect you should focus on for your next trades, because your stop was here and it was good where it was, because this whole move was no higher high. So therefore the short is, in my opinion, not invalidated. If it would have done something like this, then you would have been stopped out and you would have been wrong. But when you were looking at BlackRock and stuff, I mean, you could see that it still has some bearish edge. So this was very, very well done. But yeah, just for future reference, go on a larger time frame, look at market structure, and well, that's pretty much it. I mean, as of right now, this still looks bearish. You have the possible swing fail, but in my opinion this is not gonna be a swing fail. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself and you have good data, then yeah, you might want to take it, but maybe I'm just biased, but I do not believe, at least from the things I'm seeing as of right now, that this is going to be the long attempt. But I think it's really, really nice to see how we already made some plans. You know, we started streaming here. Well, and especially like this, all of those things, we talked about it in the stream, and I think we did quite well, to be honest. So let's just walk quickly through what I am seeing. What I'm seeing, and this is the first thing I'm seeing, is BlackRock. Accumulated, they have actually deposited way more. I think it's like close to 5k Bitcoin. And now you can see that Coinbase is selling. Funding rate still high, also not too good for a long attempt. Let's look at open interest. Yeah, look at this. People start actually shorting. At least open interest rises with price going down, which is also not a bullish sign in my opinion. And the big thing that I'm seeing right now, which is also one of the reasons why I am saying that I don't believe this is going to be the long, is Bybit. They all stopped out their longs and just immediately re-entered. Yes, there are a bunch of shorts, but I can't stress this enough. If price is going down and you have bearish structure, we have clearly seen the pattern that the shorts are not being hunted as much as the longs. And if I'm looking at this and you can see that Binance is heavily shorting into this, then yeah, I feel like this is continuing to dump. I'm not saying that it can't do some sort of retest in this area. You have this low with this wick, you have the trend line here, the value area low. So this is definitely a zone that price could retrace to and then keep on dumping. Flo, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I would be really careful with trying to have a break-even trade, or like I would be really careful with putting my stop loss at break-even. I would put it at break-even if we get below this low and we are being accepted. This is option 1. And option 2 is you just TP a bunch on this level. So first is leave open plus no stop loss at break even. And the second option you have is TP at 58k, maybe 50%. In my opinion, those are the two options that you have, and you have to carefully consider what is best for you, and also what the data shows, because you also have to keep in mind, and this is one very, very, very important aspect. Even though we mentioned that you should keep open the trade, you put yourself in a position where you have a really bad risk reward, because this was your stop loss. So if you start TPing here, I don't want to say that it's wrong, it's just a really bad risk reward, because you set through all of that to make not even 0.5 risk reward, which is really bad. So this is, if I was in your shoes, I would prefer this option, because you're not even ever at a 1-to-1 risk reward, and I'd rather wait for this and maybe reclimb and stuff, doing some stuff like that, instead of just taking the profit, but you have a shit risk reward. You're already taking 50% out, and then it just drops, and in the end you didn't really make anything. But that's just my view. The next time, don't focus on just chasing the trade because you have FOMO and think, fuck, it's gonna dump really hard and I want to be in the short. Let it sit, give it some time, and literally in probably 80 to 90% of all scenarios, you will have the opportunity to re-enter with a better entry, a better risk reward, and a higher chance for the trade to be working. JMBC is also here. What's up? And now you broke out of the range. I mentioned that you might have a retest, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does not reach the value area low. I would rather look at something like this. There may be something like this. Ooh, Max, how are we doing? Hello, hello. How great is it that this is actually like, look at this zone. Look how we drew it, and look at the wick. It's almost perfect. Let's do a quick recap. Quick recap is, we had the retest that we wanted. Now we are looking for this. And, well, your TP zones for the short are, in my opinion, in the 54s to 52s. I wouldn't start TPing earlier unless I see like many shorts closing and all the longs being stopped out. So yeah, keep an eye on the structure here. I think it's pretty nice that we could witness this on stream. As usual, pre-market open move, retrace, held structure, and now possible continuation. We know that we have a bunch of longs open on Bybit, also shorts, but I think I've mentioned that like over and over again, how you want to treat the shorts and the longs. Limits above the price are starting to kick in. Well, and all the other stuff isn't working right now properly. And obviously BlackRock is still selling. So overall, bearish. We left the range, did a retest, so now we are looking for lower. I hope that everyone learned something today. Thanks a lot to Max for gifting another 5 subs. It's appreciated really, really, really much. And yeah, as I said, let's just talk. Maybe if we can figure out some nice format for the YouTube, because that was the idea from the beginning, that we want to include like community members into the social media and stuff. First and foremost, thanks a lot to everyone joining in, asking questions, stuff like that. Have a great evening, and well, in 7 hours I think there's the quarterly and monthly candle close, so be prepared for everything. Then we're going to start into July tomorrow really, really strong. Until then, I wish everyone well, and until then, peace.